Alright, well, now that we've finished up on dinner, we're going to do our dessert. We have 14 Granny Smith apples here, and we're just going to cut them into wedges. As you can see, I've done most of them already. I didn't want to take up too much of time on camera cutting apples. It's kind of not necessary. So, just went ahead and did them freehand and thought I'd do one of them in front of y'all. So, you go ahead and you cut the apple in half. You cut each half in half, and you cut the core off, because you don't want the core in there. You just turn it aside and cut it at an angle like that. You'll get the core out, all the seeds. And it's nice to use a little knife with this, because a big knife, especially if they're little apples like this, could get in the way. And then with the little halves, you just cut them, these are actually quarters, you just cut them into thirds or fourths, depending on the size. And you have all your apples. Now we don't want them to turn too brown. They're going to turn a little bit of brown, but we just put some lemon juice on them. And go ahead and toss them around. The acid from the lemon juice will keep them from turning brown. For the most part. Alright, and to this we're going to add a tablespoon of cinnamon. If I can get a tablespoon out. Tablespoon of cinnamon. And a teaspoon, or half a teaspoon, sorry, of nutmeg. Aw, man. Did y'all see that little mistake I had right there? Let me go add a little more. Here we go. And then a cup of sugar. So I'm just going to take this little half cup measuring over here. Just going to pour it in there. Right out of this. Alright, that's half a cup right there. We can do another half. We need one whole cup here. This recipe was passed down from my mom to me. I'm not real sure where she got it from, but do it every Thanksgiving. The apple part. I'm going to do a twist and add strawberries. There's a whole cup of sugar. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of brown sugar to it. Go ahead, and I should have scissors in here. Go ahead and we're going to just get this brown sugar open here. Best we can. Think about a tablespoon of it will be okay. I'm going to do some inside the dough too. So add it right there. Add another tablespoon into the dough here. A heaping tablespoon of it. You take this and we're going to mix this all around. And then the apples are going to sweat a little bit. They're going to lose some of their juice and it's going to go to the bottom. And the lemon juice mixed with the apple juice is going to make a nice paste. And then we're going to pour it into the shell that we're going to make. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and do our crust. Now as you've seen earlier, we combined the flour, the salt, and the butter. We got a little bit of this crumbling here. Now I've added some sugar and some brown sugar to it. It's going to create, just give a little more texture to it. And now you have to have ice cold water. And you're going to start a tablespoon at a time. And I always start with about 5 of them, because you know it's going to take at least that. That's 3, 4, 5. And always ice cold water. It's going to make the crust come together a little bit better. You just mix it around like this. And I made this once before for some people at where I work, and the crust came out kind of gooey. And talking to the chef there at the restaurant, he said that one way to make it better is bake it off first and more butter. So this time I added more butter and we're going to bake it first. I have the oven set at 350. And so when I get this crust ready, we're going to go ahead and we're going to spread it into a 9x13 Pyrex pan, bake it off, and while it's baking, we're going to get the strawberries ready, and then we'll be able to stick it inside there with the apples and a little crumble on top, and it'll be good. Alright, you see how it's kind of doughy now? It's good. It's a good sign. I would say that our crust is about ready. Alright, we got my 9x13 pan here. Alright, we got our pan. I'm not going to add any butter to it because the crust has so much butter in it already. Put it in here. It's sticky. I'm just going to go ahead and spread it out. I want a very thin crust. Then it'll cook faster and easier. And it come flakier. I need you to get me the flour out. Went ahead and got a little bit of flour because it was kind of sticking to my hands. So I sprinkle the flour on, rub it on your hands like this, and be able to spread the dough out a little bit better. More flour. Go all the way up to the sides. I'm going to go up on the sides too, because this dish is going to fill it all the way up. The apples and the strawberries are gonna bring it up along the side. So we don't want them to cook against the glass. We want to make sure it's all inside the nice pie shell. More flour. Okay, so let's sprinkle it on here. A little bit out, a little bit too much in there. Don't want too much extra. Said I want a thin crust. If it's not thin, it's going to get really mushy. It's not going to bake properly. You want to make sure it's nice and thin. Not too much in that corner over there too. Just seal it all together. Take a little bit of this extra and patch it up right there.